Righty, we're heading out for a little ride. Now it's a bit cooler. We're going to go Corowa over to Beechworth, cut across the Yakandanda, and then Barranduda, Wodonga, and then back to Corowa. It's been a little bit too hot to ride lately. It's been, for the past week, it's been above 40 degrees. The hottest day we got was 48. So at the moment it's 9:30 and it's 20 degrees. Had a little bit of rain last night, but yeah, it's a bit more bearable now. It'll be a nice day. It's top of 30 today, so yeah, it's good to get out on the bike again. I've just done a service on the FJR, changed the oil and oil filter, so it's always a good feeling when you've just done a service. You just hope to God you've done up all the bolts. So we're just taking this little back road, and this will bring us out at Rutherglen. And I'm just following the GPS sort of thing, so whatever way that takes me. I've just got an Apple CarPlay screen on the bike, so I don't have to have my phone out. Just a cheap one off eBay. I think it was about $80. I'll pop a little picture of the listing up here, and that way I don't have to worry about my phone overheating if it's sunny or anything like that. And not that it would fall off, it would be quite a lot, but that's always in the back of your mind, especially I use it for work a lot, so really don't want that coming off. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes on like really sunny days with the glare and all that sort of stuff, but so far so good. Yeah, just a little bit of wiring up to do when you buy it. It's not a plug-in sort of thing, which would have been good because I've got a cigarette socket in the glove box on the bike, so I just wired it into the auxiliary power to my heated grips, because that turns off when the bike turns off. It's good to just, even though you know where you're going, it's just good to be able to look down and see like, yeah, 38-minute ride, 49 kilometres, and gives you a rough time that you're going to be there as well. So you can sort of look down and be like, yeah, there's 50 k's so I can get off and get some feeling back in my arse. Yeah, it's good to see some light at the end of the tunnel, especially when you're on a big ride. Today's ride's not overly big. It's probably, I think it's about 170 kilometres round trip. But like I said, it's just been too hot, so it's just good to even get out for a little ride. A little bit of a chance that we might get rained on, but after the week of 40 degrees and all that, I'll be more than happy to get rained on and get soaked. I'm very much a winter person. I don't like the summer, I don't like the heat. When it's cold, you can do shit to warm up. When it's hot, you're fucked. So my minimum sort of riding temperature is probably about 10 degrees. Anything below that wouldn't bother me too much. You just put another layer of clothes on, but yeah, anything above 10 degrees and I'm out. And my max would probably sort of be about 40. It's not really enjoyable when it's that hot. Let us know what the hottest temperature and the coldest temperature you've ridden in is. So we'll just head along this road, yeah, into the back of Rutherglen, and I'll pick this up once we're out a bit more. So we've just gone through Rutherglen. We're heading out now towards across the Chiltern and then to Beechworth. So we're just coming into Chiltern now, around this bend to the right, this Chiltern. If you go straight ahead, there's actually an old gold mine out there. It's pretty cool. I've taken the kids there a few times. Yeah, you got the big old shafts, but you do have to be extremely careful because just through the bush there's just drop shafts everywhere. Like you can just be walking along and then it'll be a 10, 20, 30 metre bloody mine shaft. So, but I've been metal detecting out there with my father-in-law, and and I think it was a halfpenny from the old workers out there. So it's pretty cool. It's just good to get out and about in the bush too. So look at the main street just up here. It's a nice town, Chiltern. I like the just sort of secluded, not fully secluded, but just a nice quiet country town. It's relatively close to places if you need to go and do anything. Up here on the left you've got the swimming pool, a park and a lake. The lake's pretty cool to walk around. Kids like the park, kids like any park really. So we'll head up this way underneath the Hume, and our next sort of area that we get into will be Beechworth. A little bit different to my last ride. It's sort of a little bit windy road. It's not massive twisties or anything like that, but there's something where you've got to move the handlebars a little bit, so that's always nice. But we did have a bit of a storm last night, so you do have to be careful of branches and trees and all that sort of stuff coming down on the road. I did notice just before Chiltern there was a big gum tree across the road, but it had been cut up. But yeah, just got to be careful of those bastards because they just drop whenever they want. The main reason I haven't been out this way riding lately is there's been fires, not necessarily on the route that we're going on today, but just all the smoke that's been over here, so I've sort of been steering clear. But yeah, once it all settles down a bit, we'll get out there and head out to some little towns and support the local businesses there, cafes and all that sort of stuff. Really got a feel for them when a fire comes through that, yeah, it'd be pretty hard on them. But a little bit bumpy this road, but it's quite bearable. On this bike, on the Harley, it was a bloody nightmare. But you know what those Harley people are like, it's all for the look. Where the mighty FJR, who gives a shit about look, comfort, reliability, and a bloody fuel tank that holds more than 3 litres of fuel. Well, that's talking about my Sportster anyway. There's definitely Harleys out there that have bigger tanks than mine. So we're just heading into Beechworth now. Geez, this place gets busy. Some days you just don't come here because it's so busy, often long weekends and that. Like, you line up to get into shops to get a bloody pie. Fantastic for the town, but yeah, if it's a warm day it gets pretty annoying standing out there in the heat. Haven't been to Beechworth for a while. The last time I came out here I was on my Harley with my mate Drongo on his Harley, and we both got pulled up by the cops. We just finished having lunch, and yeah, we just got pulled up here on the right by the cops to just do a breatho test. We both blew zero, obviously, because we're not dumbasses. And yeah, just enjoying the day. It was a nice day, just cruising along and all that. And old mate Copper says if he sees us again, he's going to be taking our bikes off the roads, reporting us to EPA and all that. Just an idiot. You know, they want people to come out and support these towns. Then you've got coppers like that just trying to intimidate people, yeah, who are literally doing nothing wrong. But it's a Harley, they're loud, get over it. But yeah, some of them are just a bit on their high horse. They've got to put the power on there, you know. We'll pull up on the left here for a little stop, a little drink, get some feeling back in the bum cheeks, and we'll carry on back to over to Yakandana. Righty, we're just heading out of Beechworth now towards Yakandana. About 34-kilometre ride. Should be there in about 25 minutes. It's nice and quiet in Beechworth today. It's not. Stop there for a bit of a drink. Done the old mistake of not going to the toilet while I was there, so now I'm busting already. So perfect. 20 degrees, it's absolutely beautiful riding day. Even with the clouds, it's still nice. The Apple CarPlay is a bloody ripper thing. Just to be able to look down and see where you're going and all that. I did forget that I've got my charging system for my phone up on my handlebars. It's all mounted and cable tied up there. So I'm going to have to change that back to the glove box so I can charge my phone while I'm riding. It does drain the battery a little bit, this CarPlay, but for today's ride it'll be fine. So we'll shoot along here and I'll pick this up when we're a bit closer to the Yak. So a bit of a change of plans. We're not going to go to Yakandana because I was in my own little world and not watching this fantastic Apple CarPlay that I've been raving on about. I've been not concentrating on the screen and I've missed all the turn-offs. So we're just going to follow this road and see where that brings us out at, and we'll carry on from there. So yeah, like I said, change of plans. From here we're going to head to Albury, and then Howlong, and then back to Corowa. guess that's just what happens when you're out just enjoying yourself, just taking it all in. That's the best thing about a bike. You're not going anywhere to do a job or anything, you're just out to have a ride anyway, so it's all part of the adventure, isn't it? So we get a bit flatter and a bit straighter now, instead of windy roads and all that sort of stuff, but that's alright. I could have turned around and gone back to Yak and Dander, but I'm happy to just carry on this way. Nice roads, nice and smooth, except that pothole there. And yeah, so just taking a bit of getting used to this bike. I'm used to riding I've ridden dirt bikes my whole life and riding the Harley around here, but this is completely different to riding the Harley. I did have well, I guess you'd call it a sports bike. It wasn't a sports bike, it was a road bike. My very first motorbike was a Hysong GT250. Bit of a no-name brand, but for my first bike, I think I paid $4,000 for it. It was a 2008 GT250, air-cooled, back when I lived in Melbourne, and it was perfect for what I needed. Yeah, it was absolutely perfect for what I needed. So back when you were young and dumb, you got lots of confidence, but now you're old. Now I'm old and dumb. Confidence drops down a little bit, so yeah, just got to get used to the bike again. Totally different feel to riding a Harley. It's a lot more stable in my thoughts, but just knowing what you can and can't do with it in corners and all that sort of stuff. It's just like anything new, you just got to get used to it. It just takes time. Right, so we're just heading from Albury over to Howlong now, and then back to Corowa. It's not so exciting, this ride from Albury to Howlong. Pretty much straight roads and not a whole lot else. Like I always say, it's always just good to get out for a ride. Alrighty, we're just heading into the town of Howlong, probably about 25 minutes away from Corowa, and that'll finish up our ride. But yeah, nice little town, Howlong. It's got a pub and all that, IGA up here, and you got the river just sort of on the other side of the town here. Good spots for kids to play at the parks and all that. Yeah, nice little town. If we didn't go to Corowa to live, I reckon Howlong would have probably been my next choice. You get decent block sizes here and good value for money for the houses and that. Very close to Albury for work and all that sort of stuff if you wanted to get a job out there. But yeah, nice little town. So we'll just turn right up here and follow that road out, and then we'll be in Corowa. Alrighty, we're just coming into Corowa now. That'll finish up the ride for the day. It's good to get out and about. 25 degrees now, and a total of 155 kilometres. Got cut a little bit short because I wasn't concentrating and I missed a turn off to sort of go a bit of a longer route, but it is what it is. The wind's starting to pick up a bit now, so it's a good time to be getting back. So yeah, thanks for watching that one. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments.